Okay, apparently we are live. Of course, like I do every week, I gotta just make sure I am showing up inside the Facebook group. There are some amazing photographs in there over the past week. Excuse me for my iPad shaking as I touch the screen. I'll see if I can steady it a wee bit. That'll be a bit better. So, am I live? Oh, every time. Remove seal format. And I'm hoping that Sandra is going to be able to join us very soon. Yes, there I am. Good. Okay. Close it. And I'm not sure if the one person watching is me or if it is Sandra. Hello, if you're watching, please leave a comment and say hi so I know that you're joining. Hello. Welcome. At least I know that we are streaming on YouTube. It's great. I was that distracted playing about with some of the things we're going to be doing this evening that I almost didn't. I know who it is. I'm aware. Hi Sandra, welcome. How are you this week? So the journal's coming along pretty well. It's getting quite full. I did, after the Halloween layout from last week that I did a couple more. I did this, the haunted house that I had printed out and cut out from the collage sheet from last week and the week before. Same with the little bat. I did some painting with washi tape. I did the transfer technique just with pencil on some of the text that was part of that collage sheet. All sheets and kind of supporting materials can be found in the files section of the Facebook group, which I have just put on a little banner scrolling below. This is our original Halloween layout that we did, the very first one. And then this is the most recent one. I don't think it's finished, but I like it very much. And then I'm going to be working on this page today with some leaves. Now, I saved a leaf from the garden because personally I needed to get better at drawing these types of leaves. That's good, Sandra. I am glad you are well. I realise that tonight is bonfire night over in England, so we may have a few less folks joining us, but that's no problem. They can always catch up and it's always wonderful to see them. So if you want to, feel free to take a screenshot here and you can study the leaf. Or yeah, let me see, go that way. Take a screenshot that way. You can also go into the Facebook group under the files section and download the leaves kind of reference sheet that you can print out and cut. You can do whatever it is that you want to do with the clip art that's available. I made it especially so that you didn't have to do any painting, that you could just cut out the collage elements and stick them in. I decided that I wanted to draw and paint. This is watercolor and acrylic paint, and then I cut out the leaves, and I've done quite a few. I did some standard line drawing where I just go over it twice. Again, another watercolor one. And then this one was on a mixed media piece of artwork already, just an old journal page, one of those pages that I always have lying about that I'm always talking about. Again, this is some thick pencil and double line drawing. And because it is autumn, I wanted to go for some autumnal colours for my examples. So I've come prepared with just painted background with like a purpley shade and random splatters of ink. This is peachy and corally colours together. And I'm going to be drawing my version of this type of a leaf, cutting it out, and then we will be creating a mixed media layout to just enjoy the last of the season before the winter starts to come in. I've got a few more pages that I'm going to want to fill up, and since this is an autumn journal, like I want this to be totally full before we start the winter journal in a couple of weeks. I have created a little schedule of upcoming events, and I will start creating supply lists just so that we can be a bit more organized and you can have your supplies and things ready well in advance, and any downloads that you might need inside the Facebook group. So let me just get my pens and pencil, if I'm using a pencil. Now you can use anything. You can use watercolor pencils, you can use markers, you can use Sharpies. It doesn't matter. It's completely up to you. I highly recommend experimenting. You could use one of these like China markers. I find that they don't always, sometimes they go on great, other times not so much. So this could be good because this is a quite black, and I'm going to start by drawing my leaf, and I'm just going to go right into it and really hope that, excuse me, that I don't just throw the iPad absolutely everywhere. So careful, careful, careful. Mumbles is with us this week. However, she is out for the count on the sofa, so she she won't be in the background. Now, let me see. I wonder if that's better for you over there, if you can see it. Now, I'm going to start in the corner so I can just get as much of this page as possible because it's just a little 6x4 journal. And let me see. I wonder if there were any other time zone changes in the States or anything like that. I did create a notification earlier so that people wouldn't miss it, but I know we changed last weekend. I don't know if anywhere else changed, but today, whenever I was doing the announcement, I made sure to get the times right for where everybody is. And I'm just going to go over this again because I like having the double lines. It's just scribbly. I don't know why I like it as much as I do. I just do. Sandra, could you do me a favour and just tag a couple of people in case they are missing it? I know Bonnie and Becca's usually here, but again, bonfire night, so that's a bit thick, that stalk that I did there for the leaves. So I've done multiple leaves here because I really want to be able to do more than one journal layout from the leaves that I've created, which is what we're going to be able to do with all of the leaves I've created here today. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all by any means. The lack of perfectionism is what gives a piece character and what makes it distinctly and uniquely yours. So definitely does not have to be perfect by any means. And I've told you before and showed you before with roses and things that all the shapes are imperfect in so many ways. So oh no, like that one for example. Like these dried one underneath each other, like these little tips kind of fold over. The brown spots, just the way the leaves are angled and positioned, like nothing in this is perfect, yet it is so very beautiful. So I really try not to be too precious or perfect, but that's the same with all of my work really. Now tell me, did you hear that? Because that was the cat making a really weird snorting noise. She sounded ridiculous. Oh, and Jillian as well. Jillian wanted to be here this week. Hopefully she's able to make it. And hopefully Lisa's doing better this week as well. I know that the clocks changing usually has an impact on our meetups. Should have been adding more reminders about it in the group this week. Never even thought. I'll keep these bits for future collages. And if you have mixed paper or ephemera, you can layer your journal page and just start building up a collage. You don't want to add too many layers in these kinds of wee journals, because whenever they get thick, they can be difficult to store, and then just over the years, a lot of the pieces can get damaged. So you don't want to be doing too many layers whenever you've got such a slim spine. So where's the journal here? And by a slim spine, I mean just fold it over. If it was a thicker, like if you had allowed a gap for layers and not as much paper, then it would have been fine to just add layers and stack it up, kind of like a scrapbook. That just comes from years of experience in making journals and experimenting with layers and 3D elements, and a lot of 3D elements have broken off, or yeah, just try to be real careful. Oh, after fireworks, of course. Yeah, bonfire night, that's right. Did they do it in Scotland as well, or is it just England? So there's purpley leaves. Purpley leaves like this one. And I'm going to do the orange one. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use. Might use both. Might just use the ones that I painted last night. I just want to show you how easy it is to create fun kind of botanical elements for your journals with like fodder, ephemera, that kind of thing. And it's fun to play with different types of pencils and different types of crayons and pens and nibs and different markers, just to see the effects that they all have interacting with one another. And it's a very meditative, easy for you to say, meditative process. Okay, so I'm just going to leave those there, and these are the ones I did yesterday, just in preparation. I had a smaller one that was just black and white, but I accidentally dipped it in water. And then the edge of the leaves went all weird. Ooh, thank you very much. Yes, I like playing around and messing around. These were painted using the same watercolor crayons that I have been using. Just and placing the blues and the greens in different spots, and then going over with white paint and blending them and making them kind of a beautiful acrylic. Same with these. And then with these three, I made sure to use pre-created backgrounds, and then also double line drawn over the top using different tools. One's an ink pen, one is a crayon, and one is pencil, super thick pencil. So this is going to be what we will use in our journal layouts. You are going to need glue, and I recommend that you spend some time doing the techniques that we have been doing the entire process. So layering papers, because I really like the newspaper print, I'm just going to put random bits of paper in places. This is a little, again, because I like the newspaper print, I don't want to cover too much of it. Go down that way. And I think that you have seen before, but I have done this technique where we layer and create a piece using line drawn flowers. I think we did it in our very first video on layering. I think it was maybe video 4, possibly. I can remember that far back. We've been doing this a while now. A good idea would be to spend a weekend making leaves like these or flowers like these and cutting them out, and that way you have them in a little journal, not a journal, envelope. Oh, finger. And this is just because I want to tame down a little bit of the crafty brown paperness of this one in particular. It's a bit dark. I don't think you can hear, but it would really make my day. Hey, Bonnie! Well, you're here, and that's what matters. So let's do some mark making before we figure out where we're going to put the leaves. And you can choose your colors from your autumn color palette. You can choose different colors. I am trying to wind this journal up as a way of saying goodbye to autumn. So I'm choosing to stick within autumnal colors for now. And then so 3 times. So maybe some purple. I'm being very careful just to put this on the painted areas, because once you add a little bit of water, newspaper paper would not be able to hold watercolor, and just because the paint is down, it adds a little extra protection from the paper itself falling apart. Now, what else? like a pale orangey shade. Yeah, that works for me. You could add different types of book pages if you wanted to. At least you're starting to get caught up, Bonnie. That's good, and welcome. It's lovely to have you here. How's your week been? Apart from busy. How's your wee doggy doing? Has she recovered? I wonder where Becca is and how all her dogs are. Did you see all Becca's photos in the group of her beautiful dogs? Oh wow, gorgeous. Let me see. How do you know? I cut okay, so just answering this question. I cut just outside the lines, so there's like a little bit of space, and sometimes I get very lucky, and it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of space on the outside of your line. So I'm just looking for some paint sticks here. I'm thinking for autumn shades, but I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go for more purple, actually. Just stick in the purple family. Now, Tombow markers can go on newspaper print and survive, so that's good. Excuse me. Now let me see. I'm trying to decide whether I want to use a paintbrush or one of those markers. There's a couple more. fluffy. Use a brush. Oh, I've got a cloth this weekend. Sandra, how are you and your bump doing? There's a question there in the comments. Last I heard, very well. Let me see. Week 19, oh my goodness. Yay, the gorgeous little girl. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm just placing things down to see how they look. Girls are pretty good. Not sure how biased I am, but I like your style. I think I saw a little stapler earlier on those handheld yokes. Yeah, so there'll be a little layered element to this. I'm going to try my best to get all of it glued to the page. I'm not being too precious about gluing this top layer down flat. I think just because of the way the glue dried on this bottom leaf, I'm going to have to add a bit of pressure, make sure the glue sticks right down. So a little bit poking up. But as you can see, it is very quick to create a layout whenever you have done your leaves. And all you have to do is add a little bit of mark making into your journal. The different pages that you will have used in your journal so far will mean that you've got plenty of interesting textures and pages. Just from a visual aspect, it'll be visually appealing. And I'm thinking a little banner or something would be good. Oh yeah, this way. Just says winding down the season. Although I don't like that handwriting, so we'll just do another one. I think we'll use a different pen with a thinner nib. Should put that underneath here. Much better. So I like that little layout that we did. Let's see if there's anything else perhaps we can do quickly. Oh, that'll be don't add too many layers, mess it all up. Now what would you put in the background of this if it's already on sheet music? That's what it's already attached to. Don't really want to go much darker. I'm going to make myself a little pocket and see if I can stick the leaves in there. So I will be just putting the glue down the edges of the page. And stick that bit up the other side and just add it as a feature to the page or layout that I do that side. There we go, an autumnal pocket full of posies. That took another couple of seconds, and that will fold flat. I will be adding weight to this evening to ensure that my layers will stay flat, but there are bits poking out the top. That part I don't mind at all. I actually quite like it. I might just add a couple of wee lines. I really wish I had my sewing machine set up so that I could stitch this pocket in instead. And you could put fall, or let me see, what have we got in here? Pocket of these, where did they go? Oh, since we've also got Americans with us, what have we got? F. There's an L. Another L. Wonderful. Now is there an A? Have all the A's gone? Is that an A? Oh, no, it's an M. What if I do what Marks and Spencer's do and make it the A and ampersand? Found all. Definitely no A's. No, 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 no. I can't decide top, middle, or bottom. I'm going to open this other packet. Don't want to, but I will. Can't believe you only get 2 of each. Surely you should get more vowels. Somebody. Autumnal is just fall, I think. But I'm not 100% sure. Fall-esque? Who knows? Well, Bonnie would know. Bonnie would for sure know. Ooh. folly. It's so folly. I think it's just fall. Because I know we would say that's so autumnal, but I've no idea about Americans. I really hope these leaves will end up lying flat, but there's another one, a little pocket full of autumnal posies. So 2 layouts we did today. We've added lots of texture, nearly finished our autumnal journals. I think that I could probably do a couple more layouts over the weekend. Yeah. And I love this idea, and I hope you do too, of creating a little seasonal journal every season. And they won't always be like this. There'll be different types of journals, but of course I will have everything prepped and ready for you to view with the supply lists and everything, so that we can get these journals done on a regular basis. So four journals each year, and be full of layouts that we've done together, and all of the techniques that we have learned over this past year all going together and building just a fun and creative outlet, especially whenever it's cold outside and we may not feel at our best. Please excuse me. I don't have a ledge for the iPad, so I'm just going to go backwards. Oh, what do you think of my tray that I'm working on here? It's like multicolored florals that I'll be working on over the next few while, and I've still got that butterfly that I'm working on. That one. But I like the idea of purple. That was a good shout. Still adding to it. I'll let you know when it's finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun doing leaves. It was a really simple project that we were doing today. Like all the other projects that we do, they are simple, they are easy to do, and you can do them as a spoonie whenever you have limited energy, because achieving stuff is important. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, which is important to have and to be able to access. And I really hope that you feel a sense of accomplishment whenever you look at your journal, even if you've just made the bones of your journal. Like, you have done something. That is something to be celebrated. Even if you've done random layouts in random places, like, that's great. You've done something. Celebrate that. And again, I just want to thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you next week, where we will probably do our last autumnal, because that's usually whenever I love the cutouts as well. That's usually whenever we start heading into winter, but I know winter's usually pretty long here in Northern Ireland especially. So we'll do a smooth kind of transition where we finish out these pages. So what's that, 4, 5? So I've got 7 layouts to do. I'll work on those over the weekend, and I love the cutouts as well, and I'm pretty sure we will have lots of opportunity to do even more cutouts during the Christmas season, especially with doodles and things like that. So have a lovely weekend, and thank you for joining me tonight, and I will see you next week. Bye.